The Boeing 737 Next Generation, commonly abbreviated as the 737NG or the 737 Next Gen, has become one of the most successful 737 generation out of the four in terms of deliveries to date. All the 737NG variants, except the Dash 600 and the Dash 900, showed fame in the aviation industry. One of those successful variants was the 737-700, which had a bespoke variant designated as the 737-700ER, with Al Nippon Airways, also known as ANA, being the only operator of the type. The type served ANA's longer flights to East and South Asia, such as Mumbai, which is served by a Boeing 787 Dreamliner in present day. Interesting, right? In this video, we'll be examining more at the Boeing 737-700ER. The story began in January of 2006 when ANA requested to Boeing that they would substitute two 737-700s on order with a pair of -700ERs for them to launch special missions with the later bespoke aircraft. In time, Boeing responded by handing them the two long-range premium configuration 737-700ER jets with registration Juliet Alpha 13 Alpha November and Juliet Alpha 10 Alpha November. These featured the fuselage of its standard counterpart, the Dash 700, but with the wings and landing gear of the larger Dash 800 variant. When outfitted with 9 auxiliary fuel tanks, it can hold 10,707 gallons or 40,530 liters of fuel with a 171,000 pound or 77,565 kilogram maximum takeoff weight, or as we say it, MTOW. But with the cargo payload capacity significantly decreased from 966 to 165 cubic foot, it traded a payload for an increased range of 10,200 kilometers or 5,510 nautical miles. The Airbus equivalent for this type was the Airbus A319LR. LR stands for long range. FAA certified the aircraft on February 1st, 2007, which was followed by the delivery of the first aircraft of two, Juliet Alpha 10 Alpha November, on February 14th, 2007, the ANA with 24 business class and 24 premium economy seats only. It was followed by Juliet Alpha 13 Alpha November, which featured 38 full lie-flat business class seats in a 2-2 layout and was delivered on August 16, 2007. Both aircraft were painted in the special ANA business jet livery to distinguish them from other regular ANA aircraft. However, one of them would later be repainted to ANA's standard livery in 2014. The launch route for the 737-700ER was between Nagoya Subu Centrai Airport and Guangzhou, China on March 25, 2007. Although considered as a modest trip by most standards, the ANA team had much grander plans to have the jets make non-stop flights to India. As I've said in the opening, this bespoke 737 variant was used on longer flights to East and South Asia, such as to Mumbai, India, Guangzhou, China, and Yangon, Myanmar. The type was primarily used on Tokyo Narita to Mumbai route, with the tickets costing 632,630 yen or 4,657 US dollars on one-way business class trip and 435,926 yen or $3,209 on one-way coach with a pitch of 32 inches and a width of 20 inches. Although departure times have changed over the years, this westbound flight between Tokyo Narita and Mumbai usually departed from Tokyo around midday, which allowed for an evening arrival in Mumbai at 7 p.m. A key benefit of the lower passenger count meant a faster turnaround of just an hour was the norm, meaning the aircraft could be back in the air as Flight 944 within 60 minutes and arrive back in Japan at around 8 in the morning the following day. One of the few exceptions to the schedule was during the winter months when the westbound leg would have a quick refueling stop at either Nagasaki or Fukuoka due to increased headwinds, while the eastbound journeys remained non-stop. Menus on board were specially designed for the Indian palate and created by one of Tokyo's top Indian restaurants. Japanese passengers would also get a taste like back at home on board the flight, with all meals accompanied by a bowl of miso soup and a specialty branded rice from Hokkaido, northern Japan. In 2008, Jet Airways announced a codeshare agreement with ANA, placing its flight code 9RW on ANA's daily business jet flights between Mumbai and Tokyo, with both airlines also linking their frequent flyer programs. Speaking at the time, Minao Yamamoto, ANA's then president and CEO, stated, quote-unquote, "We are delighted to work with Jet Airways in this way to bring together the peoples of India and Japan. Our two countries, located at opposite ends of Asia, represent the diversity and dynamism of our region, and Jet Airways, with its fame, high quality of service, and remarkable growth, itself typifies those qualities." This special flight project remained strong until in early 2016 when the business jet's business plan began to fall apart. While passenger demand increased between the two cities, it was much more focused on cost-sensitive economy traffic, which left ANA with no choice but to retire this rare subtype in March of 2016. The 737-700ER was replaced by the Boeing 787 Dreamliner on serving the Tokyo-Mumbai route. Although just a regular flight, the airline flies to Mumbai from Tokyo Narita every 2 days, and the flight number of the route is now Flight 829er. Reflecting on the decision, Yasuo Taki, ANA's former manager for India, said, quote-unquote, "There has been a significant shift in the profile of the customer, especially on the Mumbai to Narita route. In 2015, we changed the aircraft type from a small Boeing 737 to a new Dreamliner 787. We have 4 times the number of seats than we did before. There has been a very big jump in the number of travelers from India, and those from Mumbai have dramatically increased." As these unusual 737s got disposed, ANA tries to sell them, but both 10 Alpha November and 13 Alpha November were ended up flown to Tucson, Arizona the year after the business jet service ended and have since been broken up. The 737-700ER no longer exists. The fact that ANA's business jet service lasted for nearly a decade and even survived the aftermath of the global 2007 to 2009 financial crisis just goes to show how incredible the forecast from the airline itself. I mean, typically, special services like these would be discontinued after a few years, but this one lasted for 9. Have you ever flown on ANA's 737-700ER? If you did, what was the experience? Probably a rare experience considering the ticket's price and also the fact that I cannot find any trip reports on the 737-700ER. Probably people just doesn't have cameras back then. So yeah, if you all enjoyed this video, let me know if there are any mistakes. You can comment some explanatory notes about the 737-700ER, just like in my last video about the MD-87. So yeah, bye now, and have a day.